Hi, Amy Becker here. I'm a board member of CAT, and as you may be aware, 2024 we're celebrating women in construction. We've interviewed Joan Jones and Megan Bem, and of course the next person that we are honored to interview is Jaime Waltman Legare. And Jamie's going to tell us a little bit about her history, how she got into the industry, since you were like that high, right?
Smaller than that.
And she has two new business ventures in the Truckee community that she'll tell us a bit about, as well as all of her volunteer work. So, and I just wanted to start by saying 5 years ago, I started working for Jaime, and that was how I got into the construction industry. So it's really an honor to get to interview you.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm very glad to do this since we've been a CAT member for a really long time. It's really a fun segment that they're doing for women in construction. So for our company now is called Elements, but we've been around. This is our 45th year, which was really exciting. And as our background, so my parents started the company in 1979. They moved up to the Truckee area right when I was born and were looking for something to do. They had no jobs at that point, and everywhere they went, people told them, snow removal is so terrible, you're never gonna get out. They bought a house and built up on ski slope in Tahoe Donner, which does get a lot of snow and stuff. And so my parents said, if it's so terrible, that's what we'll do. And so that's how the business started in 1979. I grew up in the business. It's been a lifelong passion of mine. I don't consider that I work a day because I love what we do. Over the years, it's changed and grown quite a bit based off of how Truckee has changed and grown. In 2017, we had a merger with another company. Originally, it was called Waltman Construction, and we merged with another company. And now we did a rebrand at that point, and it was called Elements Mountain Company in town now. And we're very proud of our name, and I could talk on and on about the history part, but we'll go to current things that we do.
Yeah, so I did want to highlight too that in the time I've known you, you've added at least one department, added defensible space.
Correct.
And you're doing some remodeling. You guys have also added that too, right?
Yeah, so one of the things that we've always looked at when we look to see how can we expand the company or what can we do is, do you expand vertically or do you expand horizontally? And so we have such a great customer base that really like to count on us, and the customers like to get to know us, and they trust our work. And so one of the easiest ventures and departments for us to always add is, what is something, a need that we can fill for a current customer that we're already doing snow removal for, or asphalt sealing, or paint and stain. So yeah, when Amy was here, we started defensible space and tree work, which came about because it became such a focus in California with the fires and homeowners associations and local municipalities starting to concentrate on requirements for defensible space. There was a need for more contractors, and it was something that our existing customers could use. Since then, defensible space, we've started a smaller construction division where we're doing deck restorations, add-ons, interior work, things like that on a construction side. And then just this summer, we're launching excavation. Amy doesn't even know that yet. So we're gonna start doing small excavation projects. And so it just goes along with, what do our customers need up here? We're gonna look at starting small with rock walls, French drains, broken water lines, broken irrigation lines, things like that we can help our existing customers in their needs.
Very smart.
Yeah.
and I swear she must sleep, because look how beautiful she is, but I can't even believe and so let's hear about your other two ventures.
So first of all, I'll just say, Elements and Waltman Construction is just like my baby and near and dear to my heart, and I eat, live, and breathe our industry here. I love it so much. Our crew is fantastic. If there's anything that I would say is our secret weapon, hands down, it's our staff. We have such an amazing group that we work with that I was then able to feel comfortable and blessed to go start other ventures at the same time.
Right.
And so a couple years ago, I had another female in town approach me to start it was initially started as a coffee shop. And since then, though, we've grown into other ventures. And so we're working to remodel the old 76 building across from the Chevron down by Donner Lake. And we've gone through the whole planning department approval process, and it's going to have a drive-through. And it's coffee, beer, and wine, so we'll be open all day long.
What?
So, yeah, 6
Coffee,
a.m.,
beer, and
like
wine
6 a.m. to 8
drive-through?
p.m.
Oh my God.
Well, we don't know quite what we can do with the drive-through, but you can still
Like,
come in for all of those
margaritas!
things. And then along the way of that whole process and working through getting permitting and everything like that, an opportunity arose for us to purchase Xander's, the Xander's Spirits liquor license. And we developed that over the summertime and opened up right after Thanksgiving. There's a lot of synergies between the two locations, even because we're down in the factory outlets there near Paco's and Tahoe Dave's, which is great because then our two locations are near each other.
Yeah,
we share staff back and forth already. On the coffee site, while we're building it out, we have a coffee trailer there right now that's we're testing food products in. So it's really great because it's helping us launch everything we want to do for the full-blown restaurant and coffee shop. And then,
so great.
yeah, and so Xander's, though, that's one of the projects that our construction crew worked on. And since then, they're now got another job doing a build out for another project inside that complex, which will be great. So they're working on one in there right now. And that's been just a fantastic new thing in my life. You know, the bottle shop, we renamed it Xander's the Bottle Shop so that people knew what it was when they saw the name on the street or something like that. So the bottle shop has been great. It's been open since Thanksgiving. And we're really just, I mean, we're adding new product every day. We're learning about new products every day. It's, you know, the irony is, you know, I'm not a coffee drinker and I wasn't a huge alcohol drinker, and now I'm with a coffee shop and a beer, wine, spirit shop. So
I love it.
Ironically, that's been more of a stretch of my comfort zone than tractors and, you know, everything on our construction world. So that's pulled me out of my comfort zone for sure. With that, actually, we launched a concert this summer that we recently promoted too. It's all part of our same global brand to help promote everything that we're doing, and so that'll be in August at Riverview. The first concert like that at Riverview.
I saw you do that, and I was like, I gotta get tickets, and I'm like, is Jamie doing a concert?
Yeah, so Stacy, my wonderful business partner on all of that, that's part of her background. A lot of her stuff that we're doing is part of the background of what she's done her whole life. And so we're just moving that into Truckee, and it's been a lot of fun because we're bringing in a lot of new things that haven't been here before, which is, you know, I love Truckee. I lived Truckee when I grew up here. I love the new Truckee. I love the old Truckee. So, you know, I'm one of those old locals that I guess embraces the changes a little bit more than everybody does, because I see the benefits and the opportunities, and you know, I think it's great to be able to have all the amenities that our town has, and that, you know, we get to enjoy them more as locals on weekdays or on shoulder seasons, but they wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the way that Truckee's changed. And so I like that. So yeah, we have a concert going in August that we're really excited about because we both love live music. We would just get tired of driving to South Lake or Reno or farther to find, you know, great acts. And so we started that over a year ago, identified the location through a lot of meetings with the town. The town has been incredibly supportive, which has been great. And so we're really excited for that in August. The Friday night is Kip Moore headlining, and then Saturday night is the new old Sublime, so original Sublime.
And G-Love?
Yeah.
And G-Love, I was like, I missed G-Love so many times. I'm like, yes, here in Truckee, it's amazing.
And what's amazing is we're hoping to make it an annual thing, and we talked with so many artists along the way who were like, oh, I'm not touring this year, but I would have loved to, or didn't fit the schedule. So, I mean, there's so many great opportunities for the future too, that, you know, next year we'll have just another fantastic lineup. So we're super excited about all of that. So come check that out in August.
Yeah, you know, you're just a baller. I think you're like the godmother of Truckee. Like, if I were to say, no godfather, we have Jaime Waltman Legare.
Well, and honestly, that just stems for, I just love Truckee. I love Truckee. You know, Amy was asking me earlier when we were off camera, what are some of my passions? And hands down, it's youth sports. I mean, I was the volunteer athletic director for 5 years at the high school, and then I continued doing that for a long time afterwards. And boy, my favorite thing.
Yeah, you've been very involved, and you have wonderful kids to show for it, and you've made a big contribution to the community on all levels.
I've had 2 kids go through Truckee L in the middle school and graduate from the high school. I have another one who's in the elementary school at Truckee Elementary right now. love our school system. You know, I just love everything about it.
It's a special place here.
Yeah.
Well,
So.
well, and so.
And what's great actually is hopefully in the future here my kids will be joining too. So, you know, the third generation will be coming around. My 7-year-old will joke that he can already drive equipment, which is not true, but you know, he thinks he can. And so
he's like you.
Yeah.
Growing up like you. You used to mend chains.
Yeah. I have my daughter's a junior at BYU right now, and she's studying business and Spanish. And then we also took on a line for a tractor that's out of Italy, and so she just became fluent in Italian also. So she's looking at what are some options for her in the future here. My son is graduating a welding trade school in April here. And you know, he's not going to come back right away. He's going to keep going on to school and do some other things. But you know, they grew up watching a trade business, and they value the trades, and so they're trying to figure out how they can give back and continue to work in the trades too, whether with me or doing something else. But you never know. We have some options for some third generations coming through.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, you've just created, starting with your dad, the Waltman family, you really have such a legacy here, and yeah. I'm so grateful to have, for our paths to have come together, and just to share everything that you're continuing to do.
Well, and having this be a female segment, you know, it wouldn't be where it was without my mom. My mom, works harder than any woman still. She's amazing. She's almost 80. And you know, she still comes up for snowplow shifts. She still likes to cook meals for the crew. You know, I learned a lot growing up in a family business. You know, my dad brought, you know, the equipment knowledge and experience, and you know, that drive and aspect. And boy, my mom was, you know, if my dad was the engine, my mom was the caboose pushing the train. You know, she pushed the train most of the time. And, you know, you wouldn't find somebody who worked harder than she did. You know, my work ethic comes from her.
That's amazing. Yeah, your mom is amazing.
Yeah. She doesn't know a slow button. No. Maybe now, but, you know.
Well, and that kind of leads to the last thing I wanted to chat with you about is, you know, there are places, important places, where women and young women can get into the trades and do really well. And so I had asked Jaime, you know, what would be her advice for younger females coming into this field? Like,
I think the biggest thing to look for is where you'll feel welcome. You know, it is a man's world. We're, you know, in the construction industry, particularly in an equipment side industry, you know, you're in a man's world. And so the one thing I would think it would be the first thing I would look for is a welcoming environment. I mean, you'd want that in any job that you go into. You know, you want to feel welcome and wanted, and, you know, have people, you know, value your skills. And men and women bring entirely different skill sets, and both are super valuable in all the career fields that we're working in. And so, you know, finding something that's your passion for one, and then finding an environment that you're welcome in is, I think, the most important thing.
Absolutely. But you're just a shining example of how you're able to take your skill set and bring so many pieces together and give back so much to the community.
Well, and I love Truckee. I'm not ever going anywhere. This is my favorite place.
Mine too. Well, thank you, Jaime, so much for doing this interview, and for being just a pillar in the community, and being a pioneer and a leader for young women in this community, for being a mentor for, I mean, you're the reason I'm in this industry too, so Truckee owes you a lot.
Well,
we
thank
really
you,
appreciate
and, you know,
all your work.
We appreciate everything that Truckee gives back to us all the time, and we're going to continue it for as long as we're around, and hopefully, you know, 45 years is just the beginning. So thank you, and thank you to Kat for putting this together.
Thanks, everyone.